Yeah, most men, when they come to me, are looking for guidance around getting access to their children. A lot of relationships end acrimoniously, which is often very confusing for many men. And having somebody to just guide them through that in as peaceful a way as possible, and also as boundaried a way as possible, is something I'm very very good at helping men with. Also, relationship breakdown in general. Um, yeah, it can be very painful going through a difficult breakup, and I give a lot of support and guidance and coaching around how to deal with exes, how to move on from a relationship or a marriage. I mean, often if you've been married, there's a lot at stake, and as a result of that, it can really affect men badly, especially if they've really invested heavily in the marriage, in the children. It can be a painful transition. So I work with men to help them through that time and help them grieve as well, because it's a big loss in many cases. And also having to change their relationship with their kids as well can be very very difficult. I've seen men really suffer as a result of not having access to their children. And if your relationship with your ex is very acrimonious, that can be very challenging. So I support men through that. Also, bereavement and grief is another big area that I focus on. Um, you know, we live, we die, and some people have to deal with death. Maybe a partner dies, or a child, or a mother or a father. These are very very challenging and painful times for people, and we're in a very grief illiterate culture, and so I spend a lot of time with men helping them learn how to practice grief so that they can remember well the people that have died and understand the story and have an opportunity to really express the grief. I think in our culture, as men particularly, we're told to, stiff up a lip, don't let your emotions out. And I think men confuse grief with just crying and being sad. And grief is so much more than that you need an opportunity to really express what's going on a deeper level, on a soul level. So I give space for that. Depression and anxiety is another thing that men come to me with. Some men just come to me, they don't know what, don't want to carry on. They don't see the point. And so I give a space to really express the depths of that, so that they might, with work, move on from that. Self-esteem versus self-respect. I mean, self-esteem is very much connected with feelings, and self-respect is about actions. So I encourage men to understand that to build a sense of self-esteem, you've got to respect yourself, and often our actions really deeply influence our sense of how we feel about ourselves. So I help men to take actions that are going to build their sense of self-respect. For younger men, I've worked with many younger men who are struggling to transition from being an adolescent into being a man, and in a culture that doesn't have any kind of meaningful initiations for men, it's very challenging for young men. We're in a culture that seems to be obsessed with being young. That can be really challenging for young lads who don't know how to grow up. And so I help them to claim their masculinity and claim themselves as adult men. And that can be challenging in the times that we're in, because the aging process, or getting old, or being mature, all of those things certainly seem to be a bit of an insult in the culture that we're in. So I encourage, support, challenge and mentor younger men to be proud of the fact that they're a man.